Welcome to the Don't Call Me Midlife podcast. Hey. Okay, so welcome to our very first episode of the Modern Mom Date. Before we get into that, I just have to ask Alix, what's in your cup, Alix?
In my cup today is a pineapple spinach smoothie. I am trying to have more protein in my diet, and I'm trying to get something on the go. So I love that as like my 3 o'clock snack. So what is in your cup?
My cup is just some tea. It's not quite as... I need to follow suit. You do inspire me to make healthier choices. Yes. Okay.
So I am so excited about this episode. This is how, Nicole, actually this podcast started. We almost called it. Do you remember that? We almost called it the Modern Mom Date.
Yes, we did. The Modern Midlife Mom Date. No,
Modern Midlife Mom Date. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because when we first met, it was almost like we were dating, right? Like mom dating, right? We were just meeting each other and checking each other out to see if this was a good fit for us.
Yes, because who has time? I have gone on lots of mom dates over the years. I have moved around a lot. I moved around a lot when I was younger, but I've definitely moved around a lot since the beginning of my early 30s and up until recently. So I'm still mom dating. So I feel like I may be a little bit of an expert. But it's so funny because you listening, you may think that Alix and I have known each other for years, whereas I do feel like I've known you for years, Alix. And
we do talk on the daily or text or send pictures. And when I went on my girls' weekend, I know a lot of my friends are dying to meet you. Maybe they feel like they know us, right? Because they see us on social media and we're always doing stuff together. But I love that. Yeah, we have never met in person. We haven't yet.
Yeah. Yet. But yes, my friends know you and my hairdresser knows you. So that's big.
All right, I love that.
I do feel like I know you, but let me and our community get to know you and me a little bit better.
Okay, we're going to get to know you too. Okay, so the way we're going to do this is we're going to start out with some sort of like speed dating questions, right? These are simple, they're fun. Nicole doesn't know what I'm asking her, and I don't know what she's asking me. So it'll be really fun if we ask the same question. So we're going to start with 3 quick and easy, just fun, get to know you questions. Do you want to go first or do you want me?
Oh my gosh, you go first.
Okay. I think I know the answer to this, but this one I just had to do. So when you go out to a girls' night, what's your go-to cocktail?
A spicy margarita.
Spicy margarita. Okay, love that.
Okay, your turn. With lots of salt. Yes. Okay, so what's yours? I'm going to ask you the same question you asked me. I'll ask you questions on my own as well.
Okay, perfect. My go-to is probably, it would be a Tito's and soda with 2 lime. I love lime. And so I definitely love that out. So that would be my go-to for sure.
Okay.
Vodka soda.
Okay. Awesome. I did not think that was it. Okay.
Martini. I was debating between a slightly dirty martini as well. So the bottom line is I like vodka. So that's good.
Yes. I used to love vodka. Vodka doesn't like me. So tequila it is.
Okay. I could do tequila too.
Yeah. Okay. So my question for you is, when you have company, do you have a go-to dinner that like always wows people?
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know you were going to ask this. You know what I really to make when I have company is individual ramekins of something. So I will do like a chicken pot pie or a shepherd's pie or things like that, because I love when I host that I don't have to really work that hard. I want to have fun when I am hosting. So I will do something in advance. And I've learned that definitely over time. I used to make very complicated things like a risotto that you had to make last minute just to impress people. And I feel like having it done in advance, even if it's like a good lasagna, like having it done in advance is the key to a good dinner party so that you can have fun too and enjoy your friends. Yes. What's your go-to meal?
So it's this short rib recipe. It's like a braised short rib. So you
can... Oh my God, I almost said that. Oh my God. Okay, yes.
Of course you almost said it. Okay. Yes. It's actually one of the first braised meats that I ever made. And it was like back in 2011. I used to follow the Pioneer Woman. And anyway, so I made it and it was like an instant hit. And then I started making it for like mom friends that just had babies, because you can make it the day before and it sits and it gets better. You can serve it over pasta, mashed potatoes. And it's one of those things where it looks like a lot of effort. It tastes delicious. It's comforting. and you can enjoy yourself. You just have to do
I
your
love that.
sides.
You serve
Yeah.
it with like crusty rolls, a good salad, like you're done.
Yes. And then your leftovers, you put it over like the Hawaiian rolls or in the Hawaiian roll. A little coleslaw. Yes.
Okay,
I'm
that's
not
good.
hungry.
You'll have to give me that recipe. Give me that recipe.
I will.
Okay, last question for you. When you
Okay.
don't have your kids in the car, what genre of music do you listen to?
Oh my gosh, I was going to ask you the same question. All right. All right. So this will
I'm
be our
actually
last
curious. I don't
question.
know
Yeah.
this. I don't know. I know we could ask these
Yeah.
easy questions all day. What is it?
Yes. And I think a lot of people will be surprised, but I love alt rock, like alternative rock, almost like not folk music, but I think most people think it's R&B or something like that. But like I love Coldplay, like that type of music. Radiohead. I love
Oh, I
Radiohead.
love that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I would have not guessed that.
Yeah. Most people don't. I think I know what you listen to. Little
What
hip
you
hop.
want me to answer?
Yeah.
Nicole, I would say I'm more of like a 90s hip hop rap. I love Eminem, Salt and Pepper, all those type of things I love to listen to. It's probably like the songs that have swears for us growing up as opposed to these songs that are really hardcore that I know my boys listen to. So it just
Mhm.
makes me feel, I don't know, it just reminds me of being younger and it just makes me really want to go to dance club with my girlfriends.
I know, me too. I know that feeling exactly. I love it too, but if I'm like by myself, that's not my first go-to. But I love it like on the Peloton. It's really
Yes,
good.
yes.
Yes.
We do love to ride the
Whenever you pick a
Peloton.
class, yeah,
Yes. You
yes.
know the
So whenever
classes
you
I
pick a
pick
class and the
because it's
music, yeah,
similar. It's very
yes.
similar music
Although
that
I
we
don't think
pick
I
that we
would,
pick.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't want to work out to the music that I listen to in the car.
No, I think we
Yeah.
need a little more speed, a little more energy.
Yes.
Speaking of energy, let's shift our energy a little bit into the
Yes.
questions that we thought. Nicole and I found these questions and we think they're thought provoking, whether you think about your own answers while we're talking, whether it's a conversation you want to have with your friends. We've talked about friendships, and I think at this point in our lives, we want our friendships to be a little more fulfilling and a little more deeper. So having these conversations, I believe, and I know Nicole believes, just brings you closer to your friends. And you can also agree to disagree. These are not questions that are right or wrong. They're just questions that are just a little thought provoking. And the ones that we picked, I honestly, Nicole, hadn't really thought about it that much, these questions. So that's why I like that we picked them.
Yeah. I haven't even thought about them either. I thought we'd just go off the cuff and just see how it
Yeah.
goes. But yeah, do you want
Okay.
me
You
to?
want to do the first one? Why don't you ask the first one?
Okay, so it's a question about boundaries. I don't know about you, but I feel like a lot of women in our generation, like we don't have strong boundaries. At least I see it in
Yeah.
you think? Yeah. Yeah, I see it in my mom friend, like all the different friends. I see it in cousins. I see it I just see it a lot. So boundaries,
So
they're a
the
big
official
thing. Yeah.
question is, what boundaries do I need to rethink?
Yes.
And this time in our lives, or when things are being stirred up, right? We're taking care of people, whether they're older, they're younger than us. Our bodies are changing. Our kids' bodies are changing. I got to be totally honest. Boundaries is something that I really didn't ever think about until my 40s, whether that's good or bad. I never had boundaries before. And in thinking
Hmm.
about the boundaries, as I became more of a mom and my kids got older, and thinking about
Hmm.
honestly my kids' boundaries a little bit more, which made me
Yes.
then stem into thinking about what boundaries do I want? What boundaries do I want for my life? So when you think about boundaries, Nicole, like what are your hard, fast boundaries right now? What do they have to do with? What are your non-negotiable boundaries, if we're going to say?
Oh my gosh, that's like a big broad question. If it comes down to family, what's going to make my children feel comfortable? If we're going to go to, I don't know, like a family's house that has, let's just say I have an aunt that's super invasive and like shoves food down like their face, like in their mouths and on their plates, and they're picky eaters and they're like sitting there. I want them to be able to say no, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, not do things for others just to make them happy. I don't know if that's a really good example, but
I think that's an
yeah.
excellent example. I was going to say family boundaries are a huge
Yeah.
thing for my husband. And I think it's taken us, we've been married 18 years, in terms of even little things like if we're going on a vacation, we'll book our own house. We used
Hmm.
to have to
Yes.
stay with the parent or the grandparent, and we love all of our grandparents. Just having that time where, like you said, like your family can feel comfortable, and also saying no to things more for family, right? As our kids get older, I feel like I want to embrace our family time more. So Alex and I used to go out like
Hmm.
Friday and Saturday night when my kids were little, besides the facts that I'm tired. But we really have a hard boundary. A lot, besides that's a big thing. Friday
Yeah.
night trying to have family time and trying to have those type of boundaries, right?
Yes. Yes. We used to go out a lot more too. We always kept Fridays to families, and then Saturdays we would go out with friends. And it was almost like if you didn't go out with friends, then they would take offense to it or something. But it wasn't always like, I want to always go out. So I think just listening to yourself and knowing when it's good for you and when it's good for your family.
Oh, definitely, definitely. What do you think about personal boundaries as a woman, as a wife, as a friend? What are some of the personal boundaries that you've set in recent years that maybe you didn't do before?
I think maybe just saying no to things if people ask something of me and I just can't do it. I think I used to just always say yes, just to try to keep the peace, make everybody happy, just seem flexible. And I don't know, maybe the older I get, the less flexible I am. I don't know. But it's definitely like preserving my energy for myself
Mm-hmm.
because I found that when I overexert myself, I literally leave nothing for anybody else. So maybe just watching where I put my energy and keeping it obviously for myself and keeping it for my husband and for my kids.
I
How
love
about
that because
you?
you're talking about
Yeah.
like self-care, right? And I think as we're in our 40s, 50s, it's more about what do we need to do to make ourselves feel good, right? And when you're talking, I was thinking,
Hmm.
wow, what are my personal boundaries? And one of mine, it's more about having that time where I can work out, right? And where I
Hmm.
don't have to answer the phone and allowing myself to really like, I deserve 30 minutes a day to work out because ultimately I know that I'm going to feel better if I do, right? And
Yes.
it's a lot more, I feel like for me, a lot more self care, a lot more being a little bit by myself, which I'm not really that great with, but I'm trying to do it more and more. And having those type of boundaries of being aware of when I need to rest, like you said, or when I
Hmm.
can do a little bit more. Because as we get older, it is a little bit more rest, and we definitely need that. And when I think about boundaries, the word almost like scares me. So putting up boundaries, I feel
Yeah.
like no matter what age you are, is hard because we want to be that go-to person. I want to bring that meal to a friend. I want to go to that walk. I want to go to that dance recital. But in realizing that it's we can't do everything.
Yeah.
That's that for me
No.
personally, that's super hard.
Right. Yeah. Me too. It's definitely something that happened over time. But yes. Yeah. I wanted to be that go to person too, but at what cost? Right.
By putting up your
Yeah.
boundaries, also, I think also with your friendships, your
Mhm.
boundaries around your friendships and how our circle gets tighter and the people that
Mhm.
we want to spend time with. And I think that's one of the benefits. So, boundaries are a good thing, ladies. Put those boundaries up, own it,
Yes.
and I think don't
Even,
feel bad about those boundaries because that has taken me it's still a journey for me to really put up those boundaries and feel good about doing that.
yes.
Okay.
Even boundaries with
Next.
husbands. Yeah.
Oh, tell me about boundaries with husbands.
I, no, I
I don't know
just
about
mean.
that one.
Yeah, no, it's a work in progress, but no, just like telling your husband, "Hey, I need an hour to record this
Yeah.
podcast. Can
Take the
you
kids.
make sure?" Yeah. Or going to work out, or I need this for my girls' trip. And also communicating what you need besides just time away or to take care of something. If you need something, some sort of connection, you also need to tell your significant other, listen, I need this from you.
I love that
Right?
because also I think, and I hadn't thought about this before, Nicole, but what you're like, boundaries also are great and formed, but boundaries also help with communication, right? When you're talking to a friend, when you're talking to
Mhm.
your kids, when you're talking to your husband, I think by setting up those boundaries, you're actually communicating better with all of those people in your life, right? Instead of just going and doing something, it's actually communicating why you need those boundaries. And I think that also strengthens all those relationships as well.
Yes. And energizes you, which leads
Yeah.
us into our next
Yeah.
question. Yes.
Okay. Okay. No
Alex.
more boundaries. No more boundaries. Yes. What's the
Yeah.
next
No
question?
boundaries. All right. I want to know what gives you energy and what do you do to energize others?
Okay, wow. What gives me energy? Lots of things give me energy, like I want to jump out of the bed, excited for the day type of energy.
Yeah. Or your drive. What gives you purpose? Like, what gives you energy to do something purposeful
Well,
besides raising your kids? Because that
besides
doesn't
raising my
always make
kids,
you
well,
jump out of bed.
that could drain my energy as well.
Yeah.
I love to learn new things. And I think when I am constantly learning or challenging myself a little bit, and lately it's more of going out of my comfort zone, right? It's when I first was a health coach, I was really scared and I doubted myself a lot. But that gave me energy because I was so passionate about helping others that I really wanted to be good at what I was doing. And I always want to be the best I can be. So I do a lot of research, I learn. So I think over time, I do a lot of different things. And that's what energizes me because I keep evolving, keep
Mhm.
changing. And
I love
it's not
that. And I
looking,
see that in you. I do. I love your energy. You give me energy. Honestly. Like it's I love your
I
pep.
love, I have never been a good public speaker, but over time, I really believe if you keep practicing at something and you feel it deep in your heart, I'm a big
Mhm.
go with your gut person. Even writing my cookbook, that was something that is scary, is really scary for me to put myself out there, for me to be vulnerable, even on social media is something, but that gives me energy. Is that
Mhm.
weird to say? It gives me energy. And I really love helping others. I've always loved just bringing people together. I did corporate events planning and that. So there's lots of things that bring me energy. I could talk
Yeah.
about this for a while. Tell me what brings you
Yes.
energy. What do you get excited about? Tell me.
I get excited about connection and also
Yeah.
helping people. I'm always trying to find different ways to do it. And I try to do it at home with my kids and bringing people into our home and having like a little community here since we don't have a lot of family. But I want my boys to still feel like that they're surrounded by love. And then also, like in the Instagram world, just trying to connect with women and helping them that just really fills me up. So I think what we're doing and connecting with women and connecting with each other, I think is just, I don't know,
Yeah.
it breathes energy
I
into me.
yeah, and I think I get energized when I talk to someone and it's they're feeling the same way that I am. It's like when women, we want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want
Yes.
to, no matter what. And I think I think you and I just love connecting with other women, and that's why we started this podcast and this community, that we really
Yes.
want know you're not alone and know that
Yeah.
we've got a story, we're crying with you, we're laughing with you, we're
Yeah.
driving carpool with you. So I love we're doing all the things too.
Yeah. We're all relatable. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like when I talk to friends about what we're doing, what we're talking about, they're like, oh my God, it's so relatable.
And I love
Just,
that.
yeah.
And I think constantly trying to challenge yourself. When I was in London this summer, it's fun to try something new. And I realized I loved like art history this summer,
Mhm.
and something that was shocking to even myself. So I think if someone is feeling like low on energy, it's like try
Mhm.
something new. You're not going to
Yeah.
lose, you're not going to. So I think if someone out there is feeling a little bit low on energy, just go and do something new. See
Yeah.
if you like it.
Is this your unsolicited advice? I love it. Go try something new.
Oh, I did it
Yeah.
early. I can't give my
Yeah.
unsolicited advice early.
Yeah.
Going
Okay.
into talking about energy, and we're talking about changing and journey, our last question is about evolving. And this is one that I really love. How can we keep on evolving? How could we keep growing? How do we do that? How do you feel like you do that?
You've already touched upon it, like trying new things. I love art history. I've always loved it. I used to ask my mom. I remember asking my mom in sixth grade to take me to those museums where you walk in and you can see a room. It's almost like it was just like abandoned. It was like from the teen 90s. And so there's like a little sewing
Yeah,
kit.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like I love that stuff. So I love going to museums, which I haven't been in a long time. So maybe just going by myself and experiencing it, trying a recipe, something that challenges me that I know that I'm going to enjoy, taking a painting class, just maybe trying a new hobby, just
Yep.
trying something different, reading a book like outside of fiction or listening
Or
to,
self-help or
yeah,
kids.
yeah, self-help. I'm a big self-help book. I love it. I can't read them because I just lose focus, and but if I listen to it on Audible or whatever else is in the car playing, it just, I guess, like you, just learning about something that I'm passionate about, or if I have just the slightest interest, just going towards it and learning. And if I'm like, you know what, this really isn't my thing, and then I know I gotta try journaling again.
I'm
But
not a
yeah,
journaler.
yeah.
You know what I like about growing and evolving is also the fact of having fun, right?
Hmm.
We see our kids have fun. We see our
Hmm.
husbands, of course, have fun because we probably set up the fun, but not forgetting about this concept of fun, right? And what
Yes.
does fun, what does joy mean to us? And
Right.
being a little bit playful and almost like when you feel alive, like I love playing with my kids and seeing the world through their eyes. And I'm like, gosh, I wish I could see the world, whether it's like jumping on your trampoline or going out with your girlfriends and just dancing to hip hop. We can't forget to have fun. And I think that's also how we grow because there's a lot of seriousness in our life, right? There's a lot of things going on and we do have to be an adult and be serious, but not losing that playful side, even going on a date night or doing some things with your friends. I think that's how I also love to evolve and grow too.
Yes. Yes. 100%. I agree with you. Yeah, I definitely feel that more with friends. With my kids too. I can be silly and enjoy. And I think it's as they get older, like that type of like fun with them is just so different from when they're little. Like it's like when they're little, it's like the exciting fun. Like they're just
Yes, yes,
learning. That was such a fun time. But now it's like they get humor and you can learn a lot from them.
yes.
Yeah. Lots of words, lots of new things, but yes, I agree. It's fun.
Okay, I think this
Okay.
mom date has been fun with you.
Yeah, always. I love my mom dates with you.
I think I feel like I grew and I evolved and during this time. So I think that was super fun. So
Yeah.
what would be in thinking about this mom date concept and thinking about the questions, what is your sort of unsolicited advice?
Oh my gosh, my unsolicited advice is to find what energizes you, because what energizes you is going to energize those around you no matter what. So find something.
I love that. I love that.
But
Okay, my advice would be to challenge you to dig a little deeper when in your friendships. There are times when it's fun when you're out for cocktails, but maybe you ask one of these thought-provoking questions
mhm,
because I think every woman in midlife would enjoy that. And I think you would actually be on the same page with a lot of friends and start a great conversation. So,
yeah. Yes. All right.
all
Okay.
right, I will talk to you later.
All right. Bye, Alex.